So I've done some stuff to the right hand side. Left hand side is in just beginning. You can see and I'm working on the red to bring the red back, and then I'll tone it down. They were originally red stripes, but they're a little too red right now. Now, you can see the grain real well with the light coming from above. It's a regular CFL, you know, just a regular light. There's also fluorescence on in the background. I'll turn this one on. Boom. You can see a distinct difference depending on, there's the grain popping out. Now it's grain, but it's much wider in many cases. Let's change viewpoints. And see what happens from here. See, it's much wider. The white parts are, or the light parts are wider but more indistinct. Then the core of each of those white, lighter areas becomes where the grain is emanating from. I can't say it's book matched. It might be. Anyway, I'm going to do the back and sides with 320 steel wool and a few coats of clear shellac. 12:19. Turn this up. 27:32. So again, what I've done to this side, I'll do it to this side. We'll do 320. And there's some, that's a scratch. That's a scratch. You don't know what this is yet. I'm keeping the original finish. But I want it to look better, so I'm going to enhance it to the degree that I can. Again, that's what I've done to this side. Put it away. Sometimes these are on top. Yes. There was a crack there. So what we're doing is looking for crack that didn't sand off. Again, I'm doing what I call a timeless finish. There are going to be lots of little defects that I'm going to capture with the few light coats of shellac. It's been 100 years acquiring these little marks, and I don't want to sacrifice the whole finish for it. And it's going to simply look like an old guitar that's been well kept, except for a few little. So that's what we're doing. 320. I'll try to deal with these. One of the things is I'll color it in with magic marker just to make it kind of disappear. I might fill them, who knows? Probably not. So again, I have not used any steel wool on this back. I've on 320. There are areas here where the original finish has done something, it's headed for what's called craquelure. It's like lacquer cracking, only with shellac. Those cracks are much, much smaller. And they can get to be so small and evenly coated that it's like a velour. It's crackle. They call it craquelure. It's seen in the antique furniture business primarily. Anyway, again, the timeless finish. We're going to leave some of the little imperfections and work on the areas that I've had to level and proceed with some kind of, probably a few coats of clear shellac to invite the craquelure process to continue for the next 100 years. It sucks up the sanding dust. Isn't it beautiful? No, this is some dust, but it's kind of a grayish brown matte. It's sanded at 320. We did the back last night. I'm doing the same to the sides. These are the 2 holes that were drilled through for wood screws into a wooden block that did nothing. Anyway, we'll watch it transform here shortly. There's the old secret sauce. Basically, clean and stabilize and blend. Just keep doing this. We'll return. We're just blending the reattachment of the back, basically, and I've sanded, excuse me, looking good, ain't it? And you can't really see any stuff saying the back was off. I've done my job. I mean, it ain't perfect. It's pretty nice. Ooh. And we know it goes right to the back. Along the back here. Again, this is it's a stabilizer. And the wood loves it. It's made from the sap of a certain gum tree and linseed oil. And the finish it's going on is made out of the house of an insect that creates its own house as it eats the limbs. Well, anyway, eats the cambium, the shellac bug. We're going to keep doing this because it's fun. It's much more fun than sanding. Ooh. So, it's got a half a dozen coats of clear shellac. Has not been rubbed out. The whole thing. Top's looking real good. can't see the sides right now, but everything is shiny. I'm going to start rubbing it out with 3-0 steel wool. Start on the top. Yeah. This is what we just do. We're not going to get carried away, but it's nice and hard. It's been hardening for a day or two. Yes, this has been no, I did the whole thing. I think I did it last night. Not last night, but the night before. 16 rubbers knocking on my door. Yes, it's rubbing out nicely. It's going to turn to a matte finish. We will rub it out with rubbing compound. So I have sanded the entire guitar body to, in some cases, 150, I believe. I mean, mostly 220, 320, 320, maybe 400, and then 000 steel wool. These are the leftover pieces. And then I rub it out with rubbing compound. So this, and what I'm left with is a reasonable amount of the crack phenomena texture. In lacquer would be called lacquer checking. This is shellac. It's the original finish. I put a few light coats, very light coats. The kind of coats you use for French polish, very dilute, probably 2-pound cup, maybe 3, yeah, I think 2.5, yeah. Anyway, this is the process. Anyway, after the 320, possibly the steel, yes, and the steel, I went with steel wool again, 3-0 steel wool, to give me a matte finish. And from there, rubbing compound. And remember, I've done every outside surface of the guitar, the entire back, the sides, the top. This should start to reveal itself. Yeah. You can see it's starting to shine. We'll get a good look at it when I'm done, which will be in a while. Well, I put the strings on it, and we'll try it out. I've already tried it out, and it's amazing.